Talk and scroll. Talk and scroll. Talk and scroll.
Got their own crib, got their own car, and got their credit together.
So again, if it comes down to finances, that's fine. But if you're projecting that you don't need a man. Hey, what's going on? This is TNS Time and Space, and I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Talk and Scroll. Before we begin, I would invite you to like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you hit that bell notification so you can be made aware of any time that I post new content. But anyway, now that the housekeeping is done.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but women over the age of 26 are already traveling around the world by themselves, taking each other to five-star dinners, buying each other expensive chains and jewelry for each other's birthday for friends, starting their own business, got their own crib, got their own car, and got their credit together. What are they going to do with a man that wants to take them to dinner, have free conversation, and wants to go half on the bills? She already pays all the bills herself. What is she going to do with you? Do you know how embarrassing it is to be the only girl out the group chat or the groups that your man makes you go half and half? Step it up, Bozo.
Okay, now before I play this back, I just want to, number one, say I looked this guy up. He's obviously a successful influencer, content creator. So first and foremost, I want to give him his credit for that. He deserves it, whether I agree or disagree. He's certainly connecting with a target audience, and he's winning in that regard. So definitely no shade. So now I want to play the video and respond piece by piece.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but women over the age of 26 are already traveling around the world by them.
So he says women over the age of 26 are already traveling around the world. Now, I looked up some of this gentleman's content just to get a feel for who he is. I hadn't seen him before. So he talks a lot about regular men, in his words, regular ass dudes. But I think the issue is that it always assumes that there are no regular women. It assumes that every woman is at an elite level, that women over the age of 26 are traveling the world, as if there are not women in the average category, which only serves to shame quote unquote regular average men.
I can't fuck with no nigga that work a 9 to 5. I don't know why. I just need a fast money ass.
Taking each other to five-star dinners.
So another thing is funny about that too, taking each other to five-star dinners. So I actually watched the TD Jakes video. I'll do another video on that, where he talked about the need for a man to have a place to pour into. In other words, where a woman has room for that man to be a protector and a provider. So what he just mentioned is, you know, women taking each other to five-star restaurants. As a man, it's like, well, what do you need me for? That is a good question. How am I supposed to serve a role or play a role or serve a purpose in your life in that regard?
Buying each other expensive chains.
So if it comes down to money, let me just say this about buying expensive gifts. It is all good to want a man with money. We generally aspire to be that, you know, men, even if it's quote unquote regular men or what have you. But nobody ever thinks about the consequences of that, or not even consequences, but you know, there's always an equal and opposite reaction to any action. So there's always going to be something behind that. So if you date a man with money, the consequence might be that he has options, and then women get upset when that man with money exercises said options.
And jewelry for each other's birthday for friends, starting their own business.
Again, starting their own business. There's always the assumption in these sorts of videos that the men are losing and that all of the women are winning and starting their own businesses and being entrepreneurs. And ultimately, there's a wide range of people. You know, for women, every woman is not doing that.
Got their own crib, got their own car, and got their credit together.
So again, if it comes down to finances, that's fine. But if you're projecting that you don't need a man, or better yet, I won't even say they're projecting that they don't need a man according to this video, but it's assuming that only the top tier need apply. So for example, if she has her own car and her own crib and she's doing all these amazing things, until there's a man, or unless there's a man to finance that, then everybody else need not apply. But then in that regard, you can't get upset when that man has options, because you have all of the women who are doing these incredible things, who are leading without men. So you want to have the creme de la creme. Well, the creme de la creme has options. The creme de la creme has options, and there's also a consequence to just waiting at the finish line with pom-poms. So essentially, you're saying that when you as a man get there to where I think you need to be, then I'll join up with you. Then you're worthy. At that point, he's done the work himself, just like this gentleman articulated a woman being able to carry the load herself. As a man, I've already gone through those trials and tribulations, so why are you expecting so much from me? I've worked to have those options. Now I can exercise those options.
What are they going to do with a man that wants to take him to dinner?
I guess nothing. They'll do nothing with that man because they can take each other to dinner, obviously. You know, I don't know if he's describing lesbians or what, but he's painting a picture of women not needing men. Regular men aren't worthy. Regular dudes aren't worthy. Need not apply. Don't even bother. I got it. Don't need you. Those are the sorts of results that you're going to get then.
Free conversation and wants to go half on the bills. She already pays all the bills herself.
So if that's the case, if she already pays the bills, then you could say, well, she doesn't need me as a protector and a provider. I guess she can protect and provide for herself. But then even if I do make an amount to where I can cover her bills and everything, then it's strictly financial, it's strictly transactional, and it's what the late Kevin Samuels talked about when he talked about what is the price of your submission? How much does it cost to buy your submission? That's essentially what it comes down to.
What is she gonna do with you? Do you know how embarrassing it is to be the only girl out the group chat or the groups that your man makes you go half and half?
So that shouldn't be a point of discussion, really. That shouldn't be broadcast. I think that's an issue when you have too many people involved in your relationship, or not even in a relationship, whether you're single, married, divorced, whatever your relationship status is, just putting too much out there. There shouldn't be so much out there for consumption and for comparison. Your life is your life. I don't know that that needs to be broadcast.
Step it up, Bozo.
So again, I should have started the video by saying in this episode of Men Shaming Men, so to say, step it up, Bozo, that's not going to exactly make someone feel welcome, to be honest. If you shame them, if you look to humiliate them, if you look to put them down, then you can't get upset when you're lacking companionship. Again, that's assuming that's what you're seeking. Now, if you're not, if you genuinely are a woman who doesn't need a man, you don't value anything beyond the finances, if I'm bringing finances to the table, that's basically, again, a matter of me buying your submission. Or if you don't like the word submission, me buying your cooperation. Because if I make less than this amount, I'm not even worthy. I'm a bozo. I need to step it up. I need to do better. You want to humiliate me? Not talking about me per se. That's not me. But I'm just making the point, you know what I mean? That you want to look at a certain man if he's under a certain height, if his salary isn't a certain amount, if he doesn't drive a certain car, you have these standards. Well, the men who do meet those strict standards are going to have options and probably exercise those options. And there is a such thing as a regular average woman. There is. Yes, you know, when you talk about your self-worth, yes, you deserve the best. Yes, you should definitely have that self-confidence. You most certainly should have that. But as human beings, there are regular people. Everyone's not a superstar. Every woman is not embodied by this video. He gave a great description of, you know, women over the age of 26 traveling the world, buying each other gifts, taking each other to expensive dinners and things of that nature. But that's not everybody. But it seems like the perception is that it's only the men who are quote unquote average or regular. There are regular women also. But anyway, I just wanted to give my reaction to that. This has been another episode of Talk and Scroll. Y'all take it easy.